Hey, hi, hello there, and welcome back to Formula Amateur, where today we are talking about how social media has helped Formula One in raising the attention around it, how it helped to boost the sport in its popularity, and how it continues to grow using social media as a way to do this. So let's get into it. So the first thing I will talk about is Grill the Grid. I think it is an excellent addition to sort of show the personalities of the drivers outside of the cars, but also to have them be tested to see how much they really know about their job and about the history of the sport itself. But most of all, I just think it's a great opportunity to sort of take the seriousness out of certain things and make it more fun. So you have them trying to guess which driver is which by their baby photos. You have guessing the driver from their description, or guessing who the driver is, who the drivers are that make up the mix up the mashup of three drivers' faces. There's a lot of wackiness going around, but it's also it's great to see how they think, because obviously when they're in the car nowadays, because it's so complex, it's very they have to be scientists, they have to be thinking on another level to know how to perfect a lap and how to get the results that they want to get out of the cars. So when you think about what they are like outside of the cars, because I believe that there's the driver in the car and then there's the actual person. Once they get out, you see more of them, you see the real person, so it's quite introspective. You get to see what they're really like. And then I also like the fact that you can test the driver, just their knowledge, or how much detail they pick up on from just meeting people. If they're ever going to test guess the media personality that you see on the grid from their description, you get to really see who knows the media personalities. And that's just an idea for them in the future, because I think it will be fun. You get to see how much attention they pay to things outside of just the car itself and how it works. You get to see how much attention they pay to just things around them, which they may have previously not really taken much attention to, but now that they know that they could be tested on anything, and it's all for the purposes of fun, even though there is a trophy at the end, you get to basically just see a comedic side to them, and I think that's brilliant. So on the topic of competitiveness, you may have seen videos on the team's social medias where the drivers specifically get into competitions with each other. So you might see them guessing things from emojis, what they mean, or you may have seen when they play a massive game of Guess Who, but all of the people are drivers that they have to guess who is who, or when they play games on a console, or just running to see who gets into a car that they share first. There are just some examples of things that I could think of off the top of my head, of the things that so they turn everything, as they are athletes, they turn everything into a competition, whether it's for social media or not. But I think that to exemplify this competitiveness in things other than racing is a great way to show sort of the way their mind works, that they're constantly competing. Even if they're not competing, it's still a competition to them regardless. And when it gets put into a social media context of let's just do something silly and fun, like a ginormous board game, then why not have some fun with it as well? Because sometimes you have to take the seriousness out and just think of something in the most creative but sometimes crazy way to sort of make something more fun and more approachable and more personable. So I think that having them compete in like silly things is a great way of doing that. And now we're going to talk about something a bit more silly and a bit more fun, and that's all the fun and silly stuff that teams get to do with their drivers. So for example, when it's mainly Visa Cash App that I'm so Racing Bulls that I'm discussing here, because their social media team is on it like all the time, whether it's recreating or mouthing to famous little quips from different times, like silly moments from the past that have sort of sparked up and they're just mouthing along, or whether it's them singing or them being fooled into thinking that it's somebody's birthday but it's actually not. It's them getting 1 million followers on their socials, or whether it's joking about getting points for the team and they just pack away a piece of paper that says points. I think it's a great way to just sort of, as this theme sort of seems to go along, just the fun side of Formula One. So it's sort of like it's a complete opposite of what it used to be like, where it was this us and them lifestyle of these drivers are so untouchable, they're not really human anymore. But now with social media, it sort of brought back the humanity in a really fun way, and I feel like quite a few teams are excelling at it, but specifically Racing Bulls is probably the one that springs to mind the most, because they are just the most active. They're always looking at trends and always ready to jump on them and make everyone laugh, and I think that's something that really is quite aspirational for other teams to follow suit, but in their own individual way. Another thing that is quite big is the fact that social media breaks the fourth wall between the illusion of this otherworldly thing that's out there, that's it's such a restrictive club of 20 individuals, and it's really difficult to get into, which of course it is, but you get to see sometimes the behind the scenes of what the teams are doing, how a driver prepares for a race, what a driver eats, what a driver's rituals look like, what do they do in their spare time, anything that they are willing to show, that we can have some sort of like an inkling as to what makes them a good driver, and it breaks that fourth wall between what we imagine life is like as a driver compared to what it's like in reality. It demystifies this illusion of an us and them world, which I think is necessary if we want to keep this sport growing in a way where we don't view drivers as these aliens of some sort, because they are just so unequivocally fascinating humans who can do so much more than anyone can do, because they've trained themselves to be this amazing sports person, but it also gives the opportunity for people to think about what they can do to grow to be like them, regardless of age, regardless of ability, what they can take on, how they can be inspired to do something as amazing as what these guys are doing. So breaking that fourth wall is key to making a sport more accessible, and social media helps with amplification of that. Now, this final point is a bit of a rogue one, you might say, but I feel like the driver parades are also a good point in terms of social media, because when the Formula One teams step up and Formula One itself steps up to the point where they just blow it out the park and think of a new way to have a driver's parade, rather than just having them on the back of a van just circling around the circuit and just waving out to the people like princesses in a carriage. Instead, they do something a bit more creative, and especially this year we see that we had the Lego car race where they built Formula One cars out of a Lego and then have the drivers drive around in those cars and race each other, because of course everything has to be a competition. They were in massive monster trucks in Austin. They were also in the latest race in Brazil. They were in saloon cars driving around, and it sort of, not only is it fun, but it sort of goes into sort of, they revert back to their childhood, and they're just sort of like they see something really fun and they just go, right, I need to do this. I can't just look at it. I need to go and do this because it looks so fun. And I think that, and then when this becomes a video and it's put onto YouTube or Formula One apps or whatever, or Instagram, and people rewatch it and make memes out of it, and you see this sort of like, this hope for a future of just things becoming more and more fun and more involved and more personal. And it just, you're constantly thinking like ahead of the next race, like how are they going to top the previous drivers' parade? How are they going to make it more fun? How are they going to do this? Because there's only so much you can see with having 20 drivers driving around in a massive pickup truck, just waving to the crowds and yapping away to each other, when they can be silly and have fun, and then everyone else can have fun because they sort of imagine themselves being there. But yeah, overall, I guess the point of this episode is you get to see beyond the driver and you meet the person behind the wheel, behind the helmet. You get to sort of, it breaks that barrier that makes Formula One no longer such an exclusive club. It's more inclusive, but it does put to question, are we building parasocial relationships with these drivers? You have to remember that they are still people. They do want to have their privacy respected whenever possible, but it's also nice to see them being just like us, but it's that balance of privacy and fun and creativity that we need to understand as fans, that we can't just expect drivers to be open books, but at the same time we can have some fun with them and they can have fun as well. So thank you so much for listening to another episode of Formula Amateur. Don't forget to check out BeTheChangeMediaNetwork.com. Check out my lovely colleagues on the Be The Change Media Network. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. Don't forget that next Monday, not this Monday coming, but the Monday after, we'll be talking all about the Las Vegas Grand Prix. We'll see how that goes, how things pan out there. It'll be freezing cold for everyone there, so I'm sure the temperature will be a talking point. But other than that, have a lovely rest of your day, week, and I'll see you next Saturday. Goodbye.